I just want to let you know that if my Wi-Fi happens to cut out, Leo will take over, so just hold tight. Questions can be asked throughout the webinar in the chat box. So I'm just going to do a little warm up. Has anyone advertised on Facebook before? And feel free just to say yes or no in the chat box. Alrighty, so it looks like a few of you have, a few of you haven't, so that's awesome. I hope everyone can learn something today, even if it's something little. Hopefully you can take something from today. So I'm just going to share my screen. Thank you. Okay, so welcome everyone to the Facebook advertising webinar. I want to thank everyone for attending today. This is the Digital Service Squad team here in Haldimand County. So Leo and Bailey look after Dunnville, Cayuga, and Selkirk, and Jessica and I cover Caledonia, Hagersville, and Jarvis businesses. So we are here to help with any digital needs. For example, Google My Business, social media, website, anything in that realm, we would love to help you out. So for today, what I'm going to go over is where you start with Facebook advertising. So we'll begin with a goal, then we'll choose your audience. We'll go into actually creating that ad with the headline and the photo, and then some features like the button on your ad, setting your budget. And then at the end, we'll cover we'll briefly cover a couple other advertising routes on Facebook. So to start off, why should you advertise on Facebook? So as you may know, pretty much everyone these days does use Facebook. There's approximately 1.8 billion people that use Facebook daily, which includes your current and potential customers that you might not have known about. So it's also one of the most targeted forms of advertising because you can decide based on demographics, interests, behaviors, and also, of course, your location of your audience. So another great thing about Facebook is it's one of the cheapest ways to advertise. You can spend as little as $1.29 a day, and then of course there's no maximum. And then it's also great because you can enter into new markets. You can put your ad on pretty much anyone's feed that you would like. So if you're trying to reach that new target audience, it's a great way to get in. And then of course it also increases your brand awareness and website clicks. So I'm going to jump right into it and show you where from your Facebook business page that you can start creating that ad. So I'm going to take you to Grand Erie Business Center's Facebook page. So you're going to see on the left-hand side here a blue promote button. You're going to click that. But I'm also going to show you can find it over here as well, more in the center of your page. So you can click either of them, and it's going to take you to choosing a goal. So of course, these are all great. For the first example that I'm going to go over today, we're going to choose promote your business locally because we're going to do a business workshop for Haldimand business owners. So we're going to choose that. But like I said, these also of course, depending on your goal, you're going to choose whichever one suits it. So we're going to start with promote your business locally. So you're going to begin with your audience size. So this is an actual interactive map, so you can drag it anywhere, whether it's the location of your business, or if you're a home-based business, the location of your home. And then you can also change the mile radius around that location to expand that reach. So for this specific example that I'm going to go over, since it's Haldimand businesses, we're going to try and get a little bit of Dunnville as well, and then some of Jarvis. And something you want to keep an eye on is your potential audience size up here at the top. You want to make sure you're still getting a good number. You can keep an eye on this throughout as you go through the detailed targeting and things like that. So Then you're going to choose your gender. So in this situation, for this example, we're going to use both men and women. And then for the age, you can go as young as 13 years old, but for this example, we're going to stick to 18 and we're going to keep it 65. You don't want to narrow your audience down too much in this situation. Then the next feature is the detailed targeting. So this is my favorite feature because you can literally narrow it down to that specific audience. There's so many options in here. I've already gone in and pre-selected these to prepare for this webinar and kind of keep us on time. So I am just going to quickly show you how to go in here and do that. So I went into work and then I went into job titles, and you can just type in what you're looking for. So I did business owners. So you would select that. I believe there's also small business owner. So there's a small business owner option here as well. So I selected those. You're just going to click on those, but I've already done that, so I'm not going to in this case. And then I also went into interests, and I selected business and industry, and then of course business and entrepreneurship. So kind of just to try and cover those people that have these components to their Facebook page to narrow it down to that specific audience. So that's, so again, you want to keep an eye on your audience size. So right now it's staying the same. You can also have a peek over here at your estimated daily results. So this is based on a budget that we will adjust later on. So right now it's saying approximately 5,000 to 16,000 people are being reached. So that's a good number. So now we're going to go into actually creating that ad. So I have pre-typed out a description for this first ad. So we always say for the description that you want to tell a bit about what you're advertising for, but you don't want to tell them all, because you want to kind of create that situation where they take that call to action, whether it's clicking the button ad, which button on your ad, which I will go over next, or you know, calling or phoning the business, actually contacting them. So you want to tell some about the what you're advertising for, but you don't want to tell all. You want to kind of leave them hanging and leave them interested in wanting to find out more. So for this specific thing that we're advertising for, it is an event. So we included the date that the event is. We also included a little bit about what the event entails and who is hosting the event. So now we're going to choose an image for this event. So I actually pre-created an image in Canva. I actually used Canva for this. So some tips on creating that photo. So of course, Canva is great to do this, but also you want to use a high resolution photo. You also, no one wants to look at a blurry photo, so having that crisp photo is definitely important. You also want to have like a single focal point. You don't want to over edit and have the ad too busy. You want to keep it simple and eye appealing. So yeah, so then for the headline, we recommend that there's some options for how to engage your customers with that headline. That's one of the obvious things on your ad. So you can reinforce your branding message. You can highlight a sale or a deal. So if you were to highlight a sale or a deal, you want to set a deadline because you want to create that sense of urgency in your customers. You want them to feel like they don't want to miss out, so they need to buy now. So that's a little tip for that. You can also mention a unique selling point, or you can simply just state exactly what the product or event is. So in this example, we're just going to do free business workshop. So notice how you've got a character limit here. So it only lets you do 25 characters. So you want to make sure that you found something catchy, short, simple, and straight to the point. Using one of the options that I just mentioned, some ideas for creating that catchy headline. So next, a super important feature is that button label. So this is what shows up right here. So this is the preview. So right now it's on Get Directions. So I'm just going to show you some more of the options. So for this goal, we have send message, call now, learn more, save. So I'm going to switch it to learn more, and then we're going to have it take it to the Grand Erie Business Center website, where hopefully you would have a page set up that gives instructions on registering and some more information on that workshop. So next is the duration. So we always recommend not to run your ad continuously, for the simple fact that if you were the only admin on your business page and you happen to get locked out of your account or your account was disabled, then there's no way to get in to stop that ad from running. So it would just continuously spend your money. So we always recommend an end date. Now for this ad specifically, since the webinar date is January 31st, we would end the ad on January 31st. Or even sooner if you would like. But for this, we're going to end it on January 31st. So one thing when starting out with Facebook advertising is we recommend to test your ad. So you'll want to create an ad and you'll want to post it for 3 to 4 days and leave it untouched to get accurate, unbiased results. Because if you were to go make a change halfway through, then you're not getting those accurate results, because it may increase or decrease the performance depending on what you changed. So we always recommend to leave that ad alone and just see your results at the end of that 4 days and decide whether your ad's performing the way you would like it to. So yes, so we recommend doing that test ad, and then based on those results, you can either change some things after the 4 days or leave it if you're happy with it. So next is your daily budget. So a good starting point is $5, anywhere from $5 to $10 actually is great. You just want to keep an eye on that estimated people reached per day. So like I said, this number is fairly good, so we're going to leave it, but I'll just show you if you increase your budget, you're going to increase the amount of people reached per day. So the more you spend, the more you're going to reach, which makes sense. So we'll just leave it at $10 for this example. And then a key feature that you can do is if your Instagram account is linked to your Facebook account, you can select this and have your ad posted on Instagram as well, posted on that Instagram business account. So that's a great feature that can be super beneficial. Then of course, you're going to put in your payment method. And yeah, so I'm going to scroll up here and show you an awesome component of this simple way to advertise on Facebook. So you're given your preview here. So you always want to check it out and just make sure that everything looks how you want it to look. You can also see all of the previews, so even Instagram as well. And then the different views, so from your computer, desktop, newsfeed, your mobile newsfeed. So it changes it a little bit depending on the view. So for example, the desktop view is a little bit, it kind of crops the picture out a little bit, so you might want to go in and adjust that, or you can leave it, totally up to you, but that's just an example of how that view can sometimes change how your ad looks and affect it. So now this is the Instagram view, so a little bit different. There's your button, your ad button there. That label, so that's that call to action button, super important. So you want to make sure that that's relates to whatever you are advertising. So that's it for the first example. One thing I'm going to quickly mention for the budget is, even though it's saying $10 a day, it may vary a little bit on a day-to-day basis depending on when your target audience is online, but it will never go over that $40 in this example. So even though it's $10 a day, it might adjust slightly depending on how many users are on per day, because they really want to target those people that you have selected. So they're going to adjust based on when they are online. But again, it'll never go over that $40 total budget that you've outlined. So I'm going to go over one more example. Sorry, I'll just show you at the bottom here your promote now button. So once you're done, you're just going to press promote now, and it will go into a review stage, which usually takes less than 24 hours, and then Facebook will publish it. So they'll review it quickly and then publish it. So the second one example that I'm going to go over, we're going to use the goal of getting more website visitors, and we're going to use a wedding veil sale, or let's pretend that it's not Grand Erie Business Center now and that it's for, say, David's Bridal or a custom bridal shop or something. We're going to change it up a bit. So each goal changes kind of the layout of the steps that you create your ad in. So it's all the same things, it's just kind of changing it. So now it wants us to do the description first. So for this example, we're going to do all wedding veils up to 30% off. So this time we're going to do a sale. And so, like I mentioned earlier, you're going to want to create that deadline. So we're going to say offer ends January 31st at 11:59 p.m. EST, because in this situation, since it's a product that can be shipped, we're going to do Canada-wide shipping. So we're also going to mention that. Oops. Canada-wide shipping. And then we're going to choose our photo or our image. So this is another one that I created in Canva. So again, a high resolution photo. In this case, I actually chose a photo with someone using your product. So that's another tip. And of course, you want them to be happy. So that's why I chose this photo. And then you're going to keep it simple. So you're going to say what it is. So custom wedding veils, 30% off. And then in little letters, offer ends January 31st. So again, just keeping it simple. You don't want to over edit in a high resolution photo. Or if you happen to do a graphic like your logo, that is also great. Just as long as it's simple and straight to the point. So for this headline, since we're doing a sale, we're just going to do wedding veil sale. Oops. And for the button label, this time we're given more options. So apply now, book now, contact us, donate now. There's lots of options for this specific goal. So we're going to choose shop now. And then we would put in the website, for example, for David's Bridal, that would take you to the page where you can actually go and buy those wedding veils that are on sale. Now, if we wanted to do contact us, you can also take it to the website, or if you wanted to do learn more, you can take it to the website as well. So there's different options. Sometimes it'll give you the option to call now, which I believe for the local business goal, you can choose call now and put in your phone number so that they can call you instantly. So for this layout of the audience size, again, I had already gone in and selected those specific groups in the demographics, behaviors, and interests, but I'm just going to show you the layout of this. So it's going to want you to choose your gender. So for this one, I'm going to choose women for wedding veils. And then for the age, I'm going to choose 24 to 44. And then for location, you can actually choose more than one. So say we wanted to choose to ship to the United States as well. You can choose United States, and then it'll select both of those locations. So we're going to just stick to Canada for now, but I just wanted to show you that you can choose more than one location. You can choose a small town if you wanted. You can just type it in there and add it. So it gets pretty specific on the location, which is great. And then, of course, your detailed targeting. So again, I went in there already and I selected these, but I'm going to quickly show you where I went in. So I went into relationship and then relationship status. And then I choose engaged or in a relationship. Choose both of those. Then I also went into life events and chose newly engaged 1 year, newly engaged 3 months, newly engaged 6 months. So it's pretty awesome, all of the options they give you. There's different behaviors you can select from. And there's also more categories if you want to try and search something that might be available. So never exit out of here. In this situation, you want to go back and you want to save your audience. Now, because I've already created it, it's not going to let me because I haven't changed any of the options. But I'm just going to show you this cool feature here that shows you your audience. So whether it's too specific, whether you've narrowed it down too much, or whether it's too broad, whether you're not getting to that true target audience that is most likely to purchase your product. And then also keep an eye on that potential reach. So since we're doing Canada wide, we expect a big number like that. So that's awesome. You want to just keep an eye on that. Yeah. So for this, you also get a couple options here. People who like your page, people who like your page and their friends. I recommend just choosing your audience, choosing that audience, because if someone's already liked your page, they've likely already seen your posts and your products. So it's obviously great to target those potential new customers. Then again, we're going to choose the end date when the sale ends. So it's going to be January 31st. You can, quick thing to add in here is the most successful ads are always less than 14 days. So you never want to run your ad longer than 14 days, just because you can create ad blindness where people have seen it so much they actually get sick and tired of seeing it and doesn't even pop out to them. So this literally, they get blind to it. It doesn't appear. They just don't register it when they're scrolling through their feed. And then for this, we'll do $15 this time for this budget. So again, you can just keep an eye over here, your estimated link clicks, so the estimated people that will click to your website, and your people reach. So if you wanted to increase that, notice the numbers on the right-hand side are going up. So yeah, so just keep an eye on that. Again, you can have it post on Instagram or Messenger. I've never used Messenger, but it is an option. Then your payment method. And then again, just a reminder, quickly scroll up, check the previews, and make sure everything's the way that you expect it to look. So that's it for that. I'm going to take you back to the presentation and show you 2 final ways that you can advertise on Facebook. So the simplest way is to boost a past post. So that's the easiest and fastest way to promote and kind of create an ad, because it's still being shown on all different places on Facebook and showing to the audience of people you define. Boosting your posts from your page is, yes, like I said, the quickest way to share to people who might be interested in grow your page audience. And then the most complex way is ad manager. So some of you that have already had experience creating Facebook ads likely know what ads manager is. So it's just got a lot more options. For example, if you wanted to do a carousel ad, if you've ever seen ads where there's multiple pictures on scroll, you can create that. It's just got a lot more features. Due to time, I'm going to end this slideshow, but I will provide you with the slideshow to read over after. And just a reminder that there is another webinar tomorrow on email marketing after the send, and some more coming up over the next few weeks. So I wanted to thank everyone for coming out. If you have any questions, feel free to hang out after, and I will answer them. And yeah, thanks again. Sorry to wrap it up quickly. I just wanted to respect everyone's time and not go over our 9:30 time limit. So if you have some questions, feel free to hang out after. And yeah.
Yeah. So Chloe, Heather has a question. Do you recommend using ads to run a contest?
That's a good one. For a contest, that one I'm going to take note of and get back to you, Heather. That's an interesting one. I've never heard that before, but it certainly, I think, is a good idea, and I will, yeah, get back to you after the meeting.
If anyone has any other questions, you can feel free to turn your mic on and ask us, or text it in chat if you'd like.
Yeah, or if there's anything after the fact, feel free to send me an email. I'll post my email in the chat here.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Could you, this is obviously not the first time you've done this, but the majority of my ask here is that I turn the followers into a successful conversion to walk-in traffic. So how would you measure that through an ad? Would you, obviously, like it's either they buy the product or they come in and spend more money.
Right. So usually what some people will do in that situation, since it's like they've seen your ad online, but then they come in person, maybe a survey for how they found your business or how they found your sale or whatever you're advertising, maybe a quick survey at the checkout or something like that, if it's in person.
Okay.
I can get back to you on that as well. That's just kind of what's coming to mind. I know people say, you know, how'd you hear about us or stuff like that if it's in store.
Right. But we want like,
or even just saying, you know, that you've seen it on Facebook and you get, you know, 5 or 10% off. Then you know at checkout that they're requesting that discount because they saw the ad.
Yeah. For sure. Thanks, Heather. Great idea.
We have another question in chat. Are people reached calculated by impressions or per click?
So people reached, that is more what's been seen on their feed. So if how much the ad's been posted on the certain number of people. So people reached is how many times that ad's been shown. They don't have to interact with it in order for it to be reached. They just have to have scrolled through it. I can quickly show you. Let me share my screen one more time here. Let me just show you in here where you can check your ad impressions. So you're going to go in on the left-hand side here. You're going to go into Ad Center. And then you're going to see your past ads. So it's going to show you your link clicks and your reach. And then also, if you're wanting to see those specific like impressions, you can go into your ads manager to find more details on that. It's a little bit more complex. We may potentially do another webinar more for analyzing your results and things like that. So that would be kind of the next steps with a follow-up webinar.
that's a great idea.
Is there any other questions?
Yeah, I'm just reading Shannon's note there about the Facebook rules and contests. I always find when I Google it, they're forever changing. Just getting an up-to-date one and what actually, you know, you have to disclose or not disclose, or the parameters of running a contest would be a great future topic as well, Chloe.
Awesome.
Well, thank you so much. Very good.
All righty. Thank you everyone for coming out and attending and participating. There were some great questions there. Certainly picked my brain a bit. So yeah, I think that was a great turnout. And again, thanks everyone for coming out.
Thank you. See ya.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.